With the name of Almighty One God, who is most merciful and compassionate. May be peace, mercy, greeting of Almighty One God on all of you. My name is Dr. Abu Abdullah and I am certified from universities in Quran and Bible. We are learning last revelation from God, Quran, which is unchanged since its revelation 1400 years ago. Because God says in Quran that I am protecting it. So we start. Today we are starting with chapter Ash-Shams. Ash-Shams, Arabic word, means in English the sun. This surah was revealed in the early stages of Makkah, when opposition to the Prophet, peace be upon him, had grown very strong and intense. Major issues, divine laws, and guidance in this. The success depends upon keeping the soul pure, and failure depends upon corrupting it. Peoples of Thamud were leveled to the ground for that very reason. This surah teaches us that, number one, just as the sun and the moon, the day and the night, the earth and the sky are different from each other and contradictory in their effects and results, so are good and evil differences from each other and contradictory in their effects and results. They are neither alike in their outward appearance nor can they be alike in their results. Number two, Allah, after giving the human his body, sense, and mind, has not left him unformed in the world. He has instilled into his subconscious, by means of a natural inspiration, the distinction between good and the evil, right and the wrong. Number three, the future of man depends upon recognition these differences, developing the good and sporting the evil tendencies of the self. If he develops good inclinations and free himself of evil inclinations, he will attain eternal success. And if, on the contrary, he suppressed good and promotes evil, he will meet with disappointments and failures. This surah relates the story of people of Thamud to show that a prophet is raised in the world, because the inspirational knowledge of good and evil that Allah has placed in human nature. Human nature is by itself not enough for the guidance of man, rather, on account of his failure to understand it, the man has invented a wrong criteria and theories of good and evil and has gone astray. The example of Thamud relates that Prophet Saleh, peace be upon him, was sent to the nation, but the people, overwhelmed by their evil, became so rebellious that they rejected him. When he presented before them the miracle of the she camel, which was demanded by them, the one who was most wretched of them hamstrung her in accordance with the will and the desire of the people. Consequently, the entire nation was overtaken by the wrath of Allah. Now we start recitation of the verses. By the sun and its brightness, by the moon as it follows it, by the day as it shows the splendor, by the night as it draws a veil over it, by the heaven and him who built it, by the earth and he who spread it, by the soul and he who perfected it and inspired it with knowledge of what is wrong for it and what is right for it. Indeed, successful will be the one who purifies it, and indeed, unsuccessful the one who corrupts it. These are the verses 1 to 10. And here Allah is describing success depends upon keeping the soul pure, and failure depends on corrupting it. We continue. The people of Thamud denied in truth because of their arrogant transgression. When the most wicked man among them was deputed to kill the she-male, the Prophet of Allah warned them, saying, "This is Allah's she-camel. Don't harm her. Let her drink on her turn." They disbelieved him and hamstrung her. Therefore, for the crime, their Rabb let loose his scourge upon them and leveled them to the ground. For he means Allah has so far of its consequences. For he has no fear of its consequences. These are the verses 11 to 15. And here is described the corrupted people of Thamud were leveled on the ground. Keep watching my channel.